was all of this like business knowledge and skills that you're obviously speaking about right now and that you were implementing, was that sort of self-taught? Did you learn that, via osmosis through maybe your mother running the business before you, or maybe at university? How did you go about, I mean, starting a business is difficult, right? Like you had this idea, you're like, okay, let's start this polo thing, this polo school. But no normal person decides to just start a business and hinge their bets on themselves, right?
So I think it's difficult to answer that question because you don't know what you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know things and then in your brain they're common sense. Okay, so there's certain things that I don't know, and then I would speak to somebody else and like, no, obviously it's like that. Okay, different people with different backgrounds. I would say I'm very privileged. I've got parents are divorced, but they both run very successful businesses. Okay, so every day if I'm home or whatever from boarding school, you see your parents work hard. And then it just becomes a norm to you. What? To work till 10 o'clock in the evening. That was just how I grew up, see your parents work till 10 o'clock in the evening every day. So when I started my first job out of uni, I was like, yeah, I'm going to work till 10 o'clock in the evening every day. I'm going to wake up there. I think that's the greatest value I've ever got, was seeing hardworking parents. It's not everybody has that, which is tough. If you grow up in a family where, say, your parents weren't that successful, it's much harder, I think, to be successful. Not just because of the value, you get a kickstart if your family's wealthy.
Of course.
You just get a better education, you get more opportunities, your parents have wealthier friends. So it's just like this chain reaction, and it's also the values that they instill in you, to work hard. So I think that comes very much like that, and I think I just don't like working for other people. So you have to,
Amen.
Yeah, you have to know how to run a business if you don't want to go one day you sit at a job, okay, I want to go on holiday, I want to go to France next week.
Yeah.
Oh, should I have to fill in a leave form?
Yeah.
Oh no, my boss didn't accept my leave.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to live like that. Do you want to live like that?
Of course not.
The thing about starting your own company is, okay, you don't have one boss telling you what to do, but your boss is now your customers.
Yeah, your clients.
Because your customers give feedback. You now have basically 100 mini bosses. But if one leaves, you still got 99. So, I think hinging it on one boss, that's pretty risky in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty risky, but there's also some safety in it where I think most people in the world go and work for somebody else and they're content not to take the risk. Okay? Because how easy is this? Oh no, every month I just pitch up to work, I get a salary. It's the easy way out. Okay? It takes like serious courage and bravery to be like, oh, if I don't do my job this week, I'm not getting paid. I've got to pay all my suppliers, make sure that even if I have to produce at a loss this week to retain customers, I've got to do that, knowing that I'm going to lose money this month.
Yeah, with the hope that you might
make more the next month.
Yeah. So when I started this new ad campaign to launch the horseback safaris, okay, so I had to go and employ a full-time, or I wouldn't call him just a videographer, but a guy that's going to handle the calls of the bookings and everything, because I'm so busy every day to day making sure the on-site clients are there. So I have to go and employ somebody. It's a full-time big salary, right? And then you got to run ad campaigns and everything, so you got to pull out quite a bit of cash, right, without an immediate return. You don't launch a Instagram page and putting down 20-30k a month at it, and you're going to get those clients this month. You're not going to get them next month. You're not going to get them the third month. You might start getting them month 4, okay, but it's still not ROIs. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, which, let's be honest, if you're launching a campaign like that and you're getting ROI within a year, looking at your investment, it's still incredible, okay? In other businesses that I've worked in, agriculture, if you're getting in before 3 years, boom, that's something that you a tractor that you buy, you think about 3 years is great.
Do you think coming from a farming background that it made you a lot more
business savvy?
Business savvy could be the right term to use there, but also what do you call it? Patient. To see results, not expecting it to be in the first 2-3 months to be rich.
Yeah, because as a farmer, crop takes time.
Yeah,
but in the online business space, maybe people just scroll on social media, they post, and then they instantly get likes. It's like instant feedback loops. But as a farmer, you're not necessarily on social media that much, and you know things take time.
I think I've never thought about that, but I think that's probably had a massive impact because everything you've got to think about how long is your cash. I'm trying to think of the English words. Your cash, frozen.
Yeah.
So like if you go and invest and you lay out, you want to plant 1,000 hectares of maize, you don't get that cash.
Because it's stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuck in the ground. So you can't do anything else with that money till you go and harvest that that crop. So you got to think about what can you do, forward planning. I think if you're a good, successful farmer, you should be able to succeed in anything because you have to plan so far ahead, and you have to plan for risks that is not in your hands. Your crop can burn down. Okay, yeah, you can get insurance and everything, but you're never getting the same amount of money that you would from a crop yield. Okay, cattle. So if you buy a cow or whatever, it's 9 months and then another 8 months to wean the animal before you can sell it. Those are long-term things. Okay, so you learn to have patience and know how to work with money and risks that aren't in your control. I mean, say for argument's sake, you're like bullish on Tesla stocks or something. Okay, then the whole US government goes against Elon Musk or whatever, and your Tesla dives like this. That wasn't something really in your control, hedging, backing Elon, but it's something that you need to anticipate, even if it's not your fault that it goes wrong, which I think is the most important in business to realize. Okay, it is your fault if you back these things because you realize there's going to be an external factor out of your control which could hinder you. Yeah. Something
that I've realized recently, we had the privilege to go to Iman's event, Andrew, and they just track all these data and variables, and you just see the behind the scenes of the amount of effort they put into trying to control what they can control, but also predict certain variables to try and mitigate the risk, right? And that's exactly what you're speaking about right now. And I also think, like in business in general, especially in the beginning stages, the main thing why people tend to not find success is because they probably just give up too early because they've expected or set a certain intention that, they're going to be successful in 6 months or 9 months.
10K month in 3 months.
Yeah. And what's that quote? Like it takes longer than...
success... Oh, damn, what was it? It's... It happens slower than you expect and then faster than you can ever imagine.
Yeah. As soon as things start rolling and you see those first batch of clients coming in from the ads that you've spent or the campaign that you ran 6 months ago, it tends to just like if it rains it pours and it all just dumps and it feels, it's like this is how entrepreneurship looks, right? It's like the valley of despair and then like on top.
No, I totally agree with you. You can never predict when it's going to come. But what irritates me with some people, okay, are perfectionists. Right. Striving for perfection stops you from starting anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to make sure that this is the product you're delivering, this is the end result, this is how much I want to charge for it, you can't script these things. You can't. Like I want to say, okay, there's 10 rooms here. I want to make sure that 40 weeks of the year I've got 10 rooms filled. If I don't do that, then it's a failure. Why? You need to look at, okay, yeah, it is a failure if you're not hitting break evens and you can't put food on the table, whatever. But if you don't hit your break evens for year 1, year 2, whatever, you got to make sure, okay, maybe I need to have a different cash revenue stream while I'm running this business so I don't have like a financial fallback. But it takes time, these things. If you want to make sure everything's perfect, you're never going to get it done. Like I have this argument with my marketing guy every day, or marketing director I call him, and then he's like, no, the video needs to look like this, the video needs to do this, no, the weather's coming in, and I tell him, if we do something, it is better than nothing. And then I think, but you need the balance. You do need perfectionists in this world. To make sure things are right, because at the end of the day, products still have to be what people want.
Yeah, it's that clay pot study, you know that?
Yeah.
Where two groups, the one group, they told them to just focus on as much volume of pots as possible. So just create as many pots. Like we don't judge you on how good the pots look, just create as many as you can. The other group were judged on how perfect the pot is. Like I don't know exactly how they measure that. And then at the end of the 30 days, whatever, the group who focus on the volume, just like creating as much as they can, actually created better looking pots, even
Yeah.
though they didn't focus on it. So you just need to put more stuff out there,
Yeah.
and just even subconsciously, not even like making a conscious effort of like, okay, these needs to tweak. Obviously, if you take time for feedback and stuff, it will just improve better. But if you just do more stuff naturally, just without doing real feedback, you will get better.
So I really like that. And when you take it to a business where I think is you need skin in the game. Okay. So with skin in the game, I mean like you need to be putting down your own value and your own money and everything. So all these trust fund kids that try and start these latest businesses and that sort of thing, where daddy gives them say $1 million or whatever, and then they say, yeah, go start this business. Those businesses more than often fail because they didn't earn that cold hard cash to invest themselves. Okay, when things get handed out to you, you don't really put in. You need to, have it. Okay, if I don't get this right, there's like serious
consequences.
Yeah. It's like when I think it was when Musk started when he sold PayPal. He took all that money and he reinvested it immediately, and he took loans to live off.
Crazy that someone does that. Guy.
I think he made like $10 million and he had to borrow $3,000 for rent.
Yeah, I mean that's what he did. He like hedged all his bets or something, and he just made it work. Okay, like me, my house is definitely someone who brings in so much turnover every month. My house is not what it I mean. Cheapers. Like I should definitely have a bigger TV or actually a matching set of couches or whatever. But I'm pouring everything into this. Like I live and breathe my business, and that's why I firmly believe like it's really becoming quite successful. It's not perfect. Okay, no business is perfect, but you want to improve it every year. And I don't know when you get to the place that you make your house look nicer. I've always people have always laughed at me and they say like, why do you live like this? I was like, I crave discomfort, okay? In job, all of this, I have to do it. If I got the comfortable living in my house, whatever, if your couch is too comfortable at home and your surround sound's too good, you're going to want to sit there and do it.
Yeah.
Not get out and work, okay? And I just firmly believe you just need to, move around, get to the job, go and do it.
So you actually are more comfortable when things are uncomfortable.
Yeah, in a sense, I like sitting around on a Sunday afternoon watching series just as much as the next guy. But I don't want to create an environment where I get addicted to it. That's actually the main thing. I'm not saying don't switch off and relax, but you have to just, that want to succeed in the business. Like, what's the next thing that I can adapt and get better at?